Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. According to my calculations, this is episode 76. I do have a interim video I'm going to pop in. It was a little research that I did on a couple of pencil sets. Comparing them, that's going to be 73, I think I called it 73B, because we already had a 73. And I'm going to pop that in for today before I post 74. So I'm on 76. And this particular page is similar to the moth page where I colored half of it with you guys, and then I colored the other half and saved it for the weekly color review. So for this week I have done the butterflies. I've done a whole bunch of trucks and vans, and we are on this butterfly. So because it matches from side to side, I will go ahead and color the left side with you guys, and then we'll save the reveal of the whole finished piece for the weekly color, which I will film on Sunday and post on Monday. So today's set of pencils that we have are the Maries. They are darn difficult to read. You can see here that we've got small gold writing. The barrels, some barrels match reasonably well, and then other barrels don't match very well at all. So it took me more time to do the color plan. I have found that the planning out of my colors is just the most efficient way for me to do the daily color. It's fun to be spontaneous, but it's just too many moving parts. So again, I'm going to color the left side. I've got my first set of greens. I have two color tones of greens, and I am now going to set these down so that I can move you guys closer, and off we go. I will also, I might have to take off my craft glasses now that I've read you the numbers. So the body of the butterfly, I have envisioned, I just did this totally wrong. My goodness. So it means I will try to erase this. Oh, these erase nicely. That's always good to know. It doesn't have to be 100% gone. But that did a pretty darn nice erase job. Oh, and I just dropped my electric sharpener. Hopefully I will not need it. So this little leaf and the leaf one away from it is the one that I want to use these colors on. I find that these blend very nicely. I do have a pretty crazy plan for the body after I get all of the floral elements and leaves done. I will be coloring the wings, and that will be my test of this crazy idea that I have. It seemed like this set could do what I want to do. I will be sharpening. I have my sharpener here beside me because some of the pencils are sharp, and after I had them placed, I am using my Lazy Susan and my circle pencil holder that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I think currently I have 3 sets of pencils going on 3 different circle holders. We just had a crazy bit of wind and some rain. It was mostly wind, and I was down in the craft room preparing, and I really feel like I'm out there with nature when I'm down in that room and there's a storm. I hear rain starting. I am up here in the living room, so it sounds distant rather than me sitting right in the middle of it. But it's kind of exciting. So the first pop of color you can see that I wanted to achieve is the very vibrant yellow to green. So I want the edges to retain that glowy brightness. So I think that this color combination really achieved what I wanted. Every color combination we will evaluate for how well it pops with color like I have in mind. So the next set of leaves uses the same four, only I'm only using the lightest and I believe the darkest. No, not the lightest, second lightest and the darkest. So I'm going to take these big leaves here, and they have some shadows that I am going to honor by using 82 for the shadowed side and then 150. Let's see if I can make them show. There you go. These have a nice feel to them. I can tell they're oil-based by how they lay down. None of them, when I was doing my color planning, not a single one was scratchy. There's this crazy dotted shadow mark, so I am going to try to keep that line that they created, the artist created. It's kind of fun to speculate what they saw and what they were trying to achieve. The game, again, that is the inspiration that I have for this is very cartoon-like. So I am okay with making the elements look somewhat cartoon-like. I'm not going for realism at all. This book isn't really a realism-focused coloring book. All right, so those leaves are done. There is another set that I need to do with this light. I even used the very lightest one, trying to make things interesting. So these leaves are the very light, more yellow than green. I also used, nope, I used the other color. And then the last, these bell-like flowers get the middle, light middle green, this one here. And I think I am going to pop in with, again, the lightest green was 126. The middle green, this is that 150. And now I'm going to swap both of them out for 76. And we will see if I can get a little, just a little hint. And then this little More Little Leaves gets the third darkest. Because it's so small, I wanted to make sure that we could see it. And then I still want to get some two-tone coloring going. I can tell I need to bring back the 150 because this leaf did not get colored. All right, I'm now going to bring in the next set of colors. I'm going to just set these up out of the way. The next set of colors, I bet there's supposed to be a fourth one. I have a note here that says it's, oh yeah, 61, 79, 67, 66. And 61 is actually a teal, but it does work. 61, 79, 67, 66. So this is the next range. And I see a couple need sharpening. One of these days I will get it all figured out, and I will remember to sharpen my pencils before sitting down. It still does not mean that I'm in the clear, because I don't really own a lot of pencils that tend to get dull while I'm using them. These are dull because they're new. I used them for some detailed walkthrough projects, and this is my first time officially using them. And I can't wait to get through a whole cycle where I've officially used every set. And I was thinking to myself before this, while I was working, and I realized that the best set of pencils for me to use to get the vibrancy that I am after, I should have waited for the Prismacolors, but I'm torn where to put them. I do not consider Prismacolors a budget pencil, but I also don't think they're on my professional pencil list. So I am going to have to resolve that and put them somewhere. So there's lots and lots of images and coloring in here that I think would do very nicely using the very bright, vibrant, almost fluorescent-y colors. So I am sure I will have the opportunity should this set not give quite the pop of color that I would love to see. So here is an interesting behavior these have. I don't know if you can hear it, but the more pigmented the color, they don't scratch, but they do get a bit on the noisy side. But you see how they blend so nicely. Oh, that's me pushing too hard. And I might have sharpened it too much. Okay, that is one leaf done. And the next leaf is going to use the second and third. And I went ahead and popped off the tip on the second darkest. So let's get that sharp. So I am working on a game plan. Oops, wrong color. A game plan. We'll go ahead and do this at the base for introducing one of my pro sets. So as I was looking at my pro sets and I was checking out my swatches, one set I own very few, and that's the Holbeins. And I happened to notice, because I do keep an eye on the prices, that Jackson's, which is in the UK, I believe, as their home base, now has a warehouse here in the US, and they carry Holbein. But what's interesting is when you go to their category of colored pencils, Holbein is not one of the brands that shows up. So it's kind of sneaky how they've buried them, and I'm not sure why, because they show up on Google at $3.40 a pencil. And I already know that for whatever reason, they must not have any presence here in Florida, because when I was checking them out when they were $2.67 or $3.67 rather per pencil, I noticed there was no tax, so no sales tax. I also noticed that the more you buy, the better the price. Okay, so the next that gets this, these leaves are the same shape as these leaves, and so are these, roughly. So I am going to go ahead, we'll start with that third one. So I went ahead and checked the pricing. The more you buy, and I don't know if it's by dollar or quantity, I'm pretty sure it's by dollar amount, but the weird thing is at like the 40, maybe it's $45 and more, the shipping goes from say $6.61 down to $1.19. And then I noticed a different increment if you get, you know, maybe $60 or more, 65. You get shipping for not free, it's some weird small increment like 40 cents. So they've just got some rules in their system at different price points. So I opted to pay $1.19 so I could keep my amount. I did have 15 to give me a set of 36, but I really wanted to keep it under $50. So I decided to forego one, I think it was Cosmos, which is a pink. And you know, Holbein's, depending, I'm trying to do blending sets of each of the color ranges so that I can actually use them. And I figured once I have the 36, which I ended up having to get 35, so that's close enough, that I own the Brutfuner pastels, the macarons, and those will be very nice to partner with the Holbeins. So I plan to do that with them once they get here, and they might be a good, Holbein and Prisma might be a great way to get this very vivid, but this is looking really good. Okay, so we've got these 5 leaves up here, and that is it for leaves. There are no leaves down in this bottom section. So these leaves, I'm going to add a little bit of the dark. getting a lot out of it. I didn't on my coloring plan do these as two-tone because they're so small. That is it for leaves. And now I'm going off book because this is not how I had these, but I wanted to get a little more color in there. All right, so that's what we look like at the moment. All the greens are done. I have set them aside in case I need to come back with them. I don't want to try to put them back in our Lazy Susan. And then next I am going to work on some flowers. The little tiny flowers are all purple. I created an elaborate 5 pencil blend that I'm not going to need. I probably will only need 2. So up with these little tiny flowers. I even have a darker purple than this. And we are, I'm left-handed, so everything creeps toward the left. I am going to do those 3. Yep, and then this bigger one is going to be a different color. I'm leaving the very ends of the leaves white for the moment. I like to leave white when I color. I use white as a color itself. Just a little bit. And I have a color that I could add if I wanted to put a bit of yellow to make them somewhat poppy-like. Not poppy, pansy. Like a pansy, which has deep purple, white, and yellow all on the petals. They are a very fun flower. I apologize for the funky lighting with it on the other side. When I did the trucks, it made sense, but for whatever reason, the butterfly just wants to be on the other side. Okay, so those are the purple ones. And I am going to switch colors now, I believe. Okay, so blues, we have, the bells are going to be blue. And I might go one darker, but right now I'm going to start with, oh, and I cannot read that. $59, I don't have my glasses on, and $55. Yep, $59 and $55. This blue needs a sharpen. And I do think I want a little bit of 164, which also needs to be sharpened. It's not like we have a lot of room for any detail here, but I'm trying. To get a little, maybe some veining to show. I think this is the flower I like the best. They can be all a little bit different. All right, so that is what the top part is looking like, and now I'm going to do the upper flower, and it is going to be oranges to yellow. And while I have these out, I'm going to do the centers. So we've got 7, 5, and 136. All need sharpening. This set is a 168 set, and I've noticed there are lots of colors that are very similar to each other. The variation is not great, as in subtle differences in many of the colors. I still have not managed to make time to work on my database of my 520s. I am guessing that with family coming, they're coming late Monday. And so it is possible I will not be working on that project till they leave, which is fine. I kind of bought it to keep me busy on a larger project over the summer anyway. And we are not to summer yet, though it is approaching. These two centers are going to be orange to brown, sort of. Oh, this one here. This is going to be yellow. Oh, sorry about coloring off the page here. I am now adding some shadows here on these larger centers. This actually, on my mock-up, is orange. I have 3 oranges, so we're going to leave this color for the moment. The blues I am very happy with. I might need to do a little blending. This one looks, I don't mind the veining look, but I do want it to be somewhat smooth. Nice. And then you can see that I've left the very ends fading out. All right. The colors of this big guy that looks like it might be a sunflower is going to be yellow to orange. And then this little row of, I don't even know what those are, seeds? And this one All right, my last set of colors. Got the orange to brown, and then I have the pinks. And I am going to see how I get on with, I have 2 pink combinations. I'm going to try this one first. And it is 147, 126, 124, 146. Oops. We have one tiny one up here. lost track of time, and I don't know if I can finish in my 45 minutes. I have some fussing to cut out where I was fixing the light. So I'm sort of trying to rush these guys. And I am not opposed to saving that last flower and the orange center. Make a game plan for my next image, but still pop in here to this one to finish it off. Oh, and I have the color in the body of the butterfly. Oh, I have these lofty goals. Might even need my craft glasses. Okay, so I think I'm going to not rush this, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. I've got just the pinks and orange to brown left to play with, and then I get to color the body, the wings that is, and the body maybe I'll have a game plan for tomorrow. So that is what we have done today. I will go in with more of the pink. Trying to do some veining, the appearance of veins. All right. If I could see, that would be great. Yep, we're at 47 minutes. All right, so let's take a look at what I have done. There is the upper section, and I do have a plan for the little balls. I even have the little embellishing I want to do. I have that here. I am contemplating these little tiny dots of yellow on the purple flowers. I might grab a glaze tomorrow, so maybe we will just take our time and let this be two sessions to finish it off. So that is all I've got. Please do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe, and we're going to do this all again tomorrow. See you then.